Shalom, shalom. This Yair from GMS Savannah come with another lesson. But first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakradash, and double honors to the apostles and the elder bishop, great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and to the Arkham as well as the villages, pushing this 100% truth of the Bible, four corners of the earth, in sincerity by risking their lives to do so. Also to you hopeful elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but their father seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also is known as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson we go into is, it's the same old out here in Babylon, man. You know, this right here is occurring all the time. And, like I said, it's just judgment from the Lord, man. But, it is perpetual hatred from Sleazy E. Right here, I seen this on the news break that a so-called black man, which is an Israelite, found hanging from a tree in New York City, and police called it suicide. That's just straight bullshit right there, right off the bat. Ain't no Jake gonna damn hang himself from no damn tree. We done seen this several times here in Babylon. We done seen this several times in Babylon. And right here it says on June 11th, a so-called black man was found hanging dead from a tree, deleted from a tree in Albany, New York, while police have labeled it suicide. Locals and people identify themselves as people members of the man's art spectacle. According to the Times Union, a call was made around 8 a.m. last Wednesday, and police officers found a hanging from a tree on West Westerlo Street. Video circulating on social media showing the body, but was quickly taken down. When the so-called black man is hanging from a tree, the first thought is a lynching, given America's sordid history with the practice. But locals were quick to push back against that narrative. At the time, based upon a preliminary investigation, the circumstances appeared to be consistent with suicide, and no evidence to suggest that the incident is criminal in nature. A statement from Albany Police reads, "That's bullshit. Jake gonna hang himself. It ain't no Jake. It ain't happened one time in the history Jake decided to lead himself in that kind of way. It's just all a bunch of bullshit here in Babylon. And the Sleazy is nothing but a damn liar anyway. They always want to think Jake is, done lost his mind, and that's what they do, which we all know that's bullshit. Locals have taken to social media and TikTok to express their disbeliefs at how the coverage that the hanging has received in the local media. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, they're trying to sweep everything under the damn carpet. Yeah, a lot of stuff is not going to make it to the local media coverage. There have been skepticism over it being a cut and dry suicide, given how little information have been released about the incident. In fact, most reporting on the case have come from locals doing their own digging into what happened. While police have not released the name of the man, social media posts and GoFundMe page seem to point to deceased being one Earl Smith. There are few confirmed concrete details about the case, and we don't want to get into baseless speculations. But the lack of courage and the alleged refusal to review camera footage is a bit suspect. Committing a crime in 2025 is somewhat foolish because there are cameras all over every city. I've learned this during the Jonathan Majors trial when footage was released showing the assault and chase from several different camera angles throughout the city. It shouldn't be hard to see exactly what led to this man's deletion. Looking at the comments on TikTok shows that several Albany residents have expressed disbelief that the story hasn't received more coverage. I work in Albany, I live in the area, and haven't heard a single thing about this until now. That's something else. How is nobody saying anything about it? Wrote one of the commenter. America loves to espouse how racism doesn't exist anymore, that lynches are the thing of the past. Yet sundown towns still exist. That's true, 100% true. They are sundown towns that still exist in Babylon the Great to this day. Whether it's literally hanging or allegedly extrajudicial deleting by the police, lynching has not gone away. The attitude that encouraged this violence against Israelites have only become more and more normalized. In fact, they run rampant within current presidential administration. From the ongoing attacks on DE&I, Stephen Miller's entire existence, to the Pentagon's chief press secretary Kingdom Wilson making several social media posts parroting the Great Replacement theory. The most dangerous and seditious idea of white supremacists are currently influencing the laws and policies that govern the country. Hate groups have gone down in America because the idea they espouse have gone mainstream. In recent years have been several suspicious hangings of Israelites that police label suicide, but they left family members questioning whether or not they are lynches. Last year, Javon McGee was found hanging from a tree in North Carolina, and his death was later suicide by police after footage showed him buying a utility rope in a local Walmart. His family hired a private investigator, and the independent medical examiner to see if their findings matched the official police report. In 2020, a video went viral showing 4 Edomite men attempted to lynch Vance Booker during a 4th of July celebration in Lake Monroe. Charges would be filed against the men as well as Booker himself. The charges against all involved were dropped in 2022 after Booker and 2 Edomite men also charged in the case went through a restorative justice process. While we still don't know for certain what exactly led to this man's deletion in Albany, recent events have shown it's more than understandable why relatives and alleged family members are questioning whether or not it was a lynching. Yeah, that's something else right there, man. But hey, man, you jakes out here, y'all gonna learn, man. Y'all are gonna learn. You know that These Edomites hate y'all, man. It's that perpetual hatred, man. It's right here, you know. I'm gonna start, you know, I'm gonna be bouncing from precept to precept, but I'm gonna start right here to Ezekiel 35:5. It say, because thou had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord our power, I will prepare thee until blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So thou have not hated the blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Yeah, because see, they have perpetual hatred, but you got to understand it goes back. The Lord had made sleazy to be crooked and to never be straight, and you can never trust them, man. They can never be straight. You know, you never trust our enemies. You know what I'm saying? But they have that bloodthirst for Jacob. You know, and that goes all the way back, man, to you know what I'm saying, to all the way back in time. You know what I'm saying? It's that perpetual hatred, man. You know, but we see that between Jacob and Esau. You know, that perpetual hatred is gonna be there until this sucker is Obadiah 1:18. You know, but you got to be smart out here. You got to move around knowing what's going on. But like I say, man, Esau had that perpetual hatred for us, and that's never gonna change. Never gonna change. And and like I say, we go right here to Ephesians 5:15. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And you know, Jake, y'all gotta be smart out here moving around. You know, we in 2025. You know, you can't be just you know, dabbling your way through these towns, you know, in these streets by yourself, man, because somebody gonna get you. You know, they always watching a great time to snatch you up, Jake. You know, it's crazy just how people are just so at ease here in Babylon, man. You know, this is not our resting place. You know, times are going to get more and more wicked as we get to the end of Sleazy E's rulership. You know, Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying, and the wars and everything, the famine. It's gonna get crazy out here, man. You know, but you know, Jake's still out here, not knowing the times that he's in, man. These some evil times that we're in right now. And you know, right here, we gotta always, you know, tell this to the hopeful elect. You know, 2 Chronicles 15:13. This is only for the elect only. That whomsoever will not seek the Lord our power of Israel shall be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. Yeah. You better seek the Lord to have that covering, because we're in evil times here in Babylon. And it's just not the time to be out here, you know, walking around and not knowing the times that we're in, because it's dangerous out here. It's a scary times, you know. And like I say, Hebrews 10 and 31. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power, Yahweh. You know, so like I say, you got to be more smart out here for real, because we're in very dangerous times, very dangerous times out here in Babylon, and you just better be hey you better be careful out here. And then another one, you know, I got two more, and then I'm gonna be finished up here, you know. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray for thee who perish being innocent, where there were the righteous cut off. Yeah, man. Hey, judgment from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that goes into it too. You know, who perished being innocent. And you know, like I say, with Sleazy E, you know, like I say, they they they're behind it. I believe it, 100%. But it's all good though. 'Cause like I say, the Lord see everything. That's why Obadiah 1 and 10 for the violence the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Jake taking himself like that, man. Rope around the neck, man. We know that's bullshit. That's some sleazy shit. Hatred towards his brother Jacob. But we already know. We know. In the spirit what happened. But it's all good though, cause hey, like I say, the Lord see everything, and they gonna get their judgment. You know, they gonna get theirs too, for real, 100% true. They gonna get theirs. Like I said, I was just hoping this was edifying to over the sheep and the lamb. Kwam Yasharala, on to the next lesson. Be careful out here, Israel. The hopeful elect. Move around wisely. On to the next lesson. Shalom.